Hi friends, and happy VA Wednesday. I'm Rich Frazier, and I am a certified instructor here at Military Mortgage Bootcamp, bringing you another weekly mission of Realtor Recon.
Left, right, sir, yes, sir!
Alright gang, today I want to help you bust a couple myths surrounding VA appraisals and a couple more reasons why sellers and realtors or uneducated agents tend not to want, or they often reject, VA contracts from veterans and military families. So the two things that I see quite often the most, or the things that I hear are, hey, you know what, they're really worried about the VA appraisal process. One, they've heard that VA appraisers are notorious for bringing in all sorts of repairs and appraisal requirements. And then additionally, they've heard that VA appraisals constantly come in short. Both of those are false. They are myths, and we're going to bust them here today. I'm going to help you understand why by giving you a few facts and things. And if you're educated, you can help educate sellers, other agents who are uneducated. That's what we're doing here today. So let's talk about these briefly for a moment. Now, first and foremost, I do want to acknowledge, in the past, these have been issues with the VA. But all that's changed. It's been quite some time since that was really the case. It's really been about 10 years. Since the meltdown in 2008, when the mortgage market imploded, all appraisers have pretty much come in line and are using the same appraisal methods, or we call them scoring cards. They're pretty much all identical. And the ironic thing is generally speaking, all appraisers are using the VA scoring model, and here's why. VA was and continues to be the loan program with the lowest default ratio out of everything. So you have the lowest ratio of loans in default and foreclosures under the VA, and VA not having very many appraisal problems. Therefore, the other programs kind of have followed suit with VA and came up behind them and said, hey, let's use what they're doing so as to protect all parties. So VA is really kind of the standard for appraisers. We're seeing the same conditions on the conditional appraisals these days as we are FHA and VA. So they're really pretty much all the same. The difference is VA appraisers have more credentials. It requires more credentials to be a VA appraiser, but it really doesn't matter because it's the same people pretty much doing it. So that myth is busted. You got the same scoring cards. You're going to have the same requirements pretty much across the board. Myth busted. The second thing that we see, or the objection we get, is, oh, well, I've heard VA tends to bring values in significantly low. Again, that is a remnant of the past, VA appraisal process past. But here's the cool thing. Did you know that VA is the only program with two, and I repeat, two written guidelines that allow us to dispute the value? Again, the only loan program. Guideline number one is called Tidewater. Tidewater, just like it sounds. It's the only, it's basically where the appraiser has been out to see the property. He comes back, he's crunching his numbers, and he realizes there's just no way I'm going to get to the purchase price or the contract price on this. He then would notify us, and we notify the agents, who then have 48 hours to get additional comparables and information to the appraiser to influence his decision. After that, or if that 48 hours passes, or if you get additional information and the appraiser doesn't agree, he'll then issue the notice of value. And then from there, we have option number two, which again is a written guideline. Option number two is an ROV. ROV is short for reconsideration of value. So let's use an example. The contract price was $250,000. The notice of value came in after Tidewater period, or after additional comps were given, at $240,000. So we're $10,000 apart. All parties get together and agree and say, hey, you know what, at $245,000, they compromised in the middle, we can make this work. So we then, with the veteran's request, upon their request, can go and petition directly to the VA to reconsider the value. And VA can add back up to 15% of the appraised value back to the noticer, or the value assigned by the appraiser, to make the deal work. So in this case, we're trying to come up $5,000 more than the appraised value, but the seller's compromising and coming down. VA sees that as a good thing and they want to make it work. Well, here's where the magic happens. When we send this to the VA, guess who works at the VA? Other veterans. VA is heavy on the veteran force, and other veterans want to help veterans get into homes. That's the magic of going directly to the VA. Unlike any other loan program, you don't have other veterans or other FHA-ins or conventional-ins or whatever you want to call them. You don't have them there fighting for the veteran. You have veterans fighting for veterans, and that's a brotherhood and sisterhood that want to help each other. That's the magic of going directly to the VA. So again, we've busted another myth. That's 2 myths busted for today, folks. And just more reasons why being educated, we can get out there and help more people get their contracts, more veterans, more military families get accepted contracts. Let's get it done. Let's help them. That's pretty much it for the day. So if you know of a veteran who really needs an advocate, I would love to help. We can get them connected with another MMBC specialist or trained specialist nationwide, or I would be happy to help them. You can always reach me on my cell phone at 816-651-8070 or private message me on Facebook. You can text me at that number as well, and I'll call you back and we'll figure out what we can do to help this veteran get into a home loan. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next week on another episode of Realtor Recon when we discuss helping veterans with service-connected disabilities.